Okay, so we're diving into the Dr. Nick Abraham case, and man, this one is just Don heavy. You've got a well-respected therapist found dead. And not just dead, his body was found by the highway, wrapped up. I mean, it's the kind of story that makes you stop and say, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah, no, it's definitely unsettling. And I think what makes it even more unsettling is the lack of like clear answers right now. We're still piecing things together, but even at this early stage there are already some really interesting angles to this whole thing.
Absolutely. And then to add to the intrigue, you have the Baton Rouge police naming Terrion Ishmael Thomas as a person of interest. Now, they haven't, charged him with Dr. Abraham's death yet, but they did issue a warrant for his arrest. It seems to be related to Dr. Abraham's stolen car.
See, and that's the thing. It's very deliberate. You're right. He isn't officially a suspect, but calling him a person of interest, releasing his picture from that convenience store, and emphasizing his online presence. They even, mentioned his TikTok handle, Mr. Prada. They're putting the pressure on and trying to get the public to help with the investigation.
It's
It's
like you're saying, hey, we're looking at you, and maybe everyone else should be too. And speaking of that picture, it was taken Sunday at a store in Jubin Crossing. Now that's interesting.
It is interesting. And you know why it's interesting? Jubin Crossing, it's a shopping center off Interstate 12. That's significant because it puts him miles away from both where Dr. Abraham's body was found and where that car chase, the one involving Dr. Abraham's car, happened.
Hold on, so he's at this shopping center off the interstate, miles away. What does that tell us? Is he running? Or is there something else going on?
Well, it raises questions, that's for sure. It suggests that maybe he was trying to get out of town or, maybe even trying to ditch something connected to the case. We don't know for sure.
Well,
But it's definitely a breadcrumb the police are trying to follow.
man, it's like something out of a movie or something's wild. But in the middle of all this, we can't forget about Dr. Abraham. This is a guy who dedicated his life to helping others as a therapist, and for his life to end in such a violent, just tragic way. It's heartbreaking. And for his family having to prepare for his funeral next week in Mississippi, I can't imagine.
Yeah, you're right. It's a profound loss for them and really for the whole community. He was a well-respected therapist. And to have this cloud of uncertainty hanging over his death, it just makes it all the more difficult.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? What really happened between Terry and Thomas and Dr. Abraham? Was Thomas even driving the car, or was it someone else? And what's going to come out next?
We're left with a lot of unanswered questions, that's for sure. Where was Thomas going? Who else might be involved? It's like the pieces of the puzzle are scattered, and it's going to take some serious digging to figure out how they all fit together.
It really is like a true crime thriller unfolding right in front of us. And the biggest question of all, what new information will come to light next? So what do you think? What stands out to you in all this? What pieces of this puzzle are you most curious about? Keep those questions in mind as more information comes out because they might hold the key to understanding this whole tragic case.